So, how do you still thrive and survive after iOS 14 while running Facebook ads for your business? Well, let's talk about the exact step-by-steps in this video. So if you're an e-commerce store owner, a Facebook ads marketer, or if you want to scale your business through marketing, then you're in the right place. My name is Justin, and over the past 3 months, I've been able to generate multiple 5 figures a month for many e-commerce businesses, and this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for these steps that I'm about to show you and share with you in this video. So first step I'm about to share with you is really important. This is something that you definitely need to set up on your site, and you may have actually heard of it or seen it before. So this thing is the Conversions API from Facebook. So this works interconnected with the Facebook pixel that you hopefully have already installed on your site, but there's a key difference between the two things and why the Conversion API is definitely crucial in these times. So what the Conversion API does is it sends the data and the information to Facebook through the server instead of the browser as the regular pixel would do. And as we know now with iOS 14, browser tracking is much less accurate, so you really need the server to send the right information to Facebook in order to match the purchases and the events with the correct events that are happening on the store. So to do so with Shopify, it is super easy. So you'd simply want to head over to your Facebook shop section in your Shopify settings, and then in the data sharing settings within Facebook, you'd simply want to turn that to maximum. And by default, Shopify will integrate the Facebook Conversions API within your site. Funny enough, for 2 of our clients who are actually Shopify stores, we didn't turn that on for the past couple of weeks, and about 2.5 weeks ago, we've seen, we had been seeing for a month a little drop in results, and we decided to basically take the time out of that day to essentially turn on the Conversions API for these 2 clients and make sure that we secured their account essentially for this new update. And turns out that the next weekend we had crazy results for these clients. So let me show you some screenshots on the screen right now, but essentially it just proved to be much more accurate, and we've just seen some attributions that were there in the past but really didn't show up on Facebook started to appear as soon as we turned on the Conversions API for these guys. Once the Conversions API is turned on, you'll see within the Facebook Events Manager, you'll see that all the events that you had before, such as view content, add to cart, purchase, all the events that were regularly integrated with your Facebook pixel are now showing browser as well as server tracking within essentially the Events Manager. So this just tells you that Facebook is now matching the events through the browser as well as the server. So you've got 2 ways now to essentially compare the data, and then Facebook is essentially being fed some much more accurate data, because as we know, garbage in, garbage out. So if Facebook's pixel has some wrong or bad data, then it won't really perform well with your ads. So definitely you want to give Facebook some good data to perform and to optimize your ad and ad sets later on. Now, the second tip I want to share with you today is aggregated events. So still on the topic of the pixel and the Conversions API, you want to head over to the Events Manager into your pixel in the Events section. Once you're there, you'll see the Aggregated Events tab right below essentially the graph of the data of your pixel, and you want to go on that and set up all of your events. So essentially you'll be able to set an event as priority and then basically build a list of the most, essentially the event with the highest priority all the way to the event with the sort of lowest priority, if you may. But the one that you for sure want to put at the top is purchase, because what this does is Facebook will spend essentially more time to match the purchase and make sure that the purchases are accurate, and this is what you want to report on. And this is what is going to tell you if your ads are working well or not, right? Those are the raw conversions and purchases value from Facebook. So with that being said, you probably also want to have initiate checkout, add to cart, view content, all of those in there, but definitely purchase wants to be at the top, and then the rest you can sort of mix and match them depending on what you want to emphasize a little more. But I definitely put, again, add to cart, initiate checkout, and view content right below purchase. Now, the third tip that you want to apply to your store starting today and to your Facebook marketing strategy is video ads. If you haven't started video ads yet, you definitely want to get those video creatives up and running ASAP. As we know now, targeting is a little more difficult with iOS 14, so it's a little bit more difficult to be able to target cold audiences or even do retargeting, as if people opted out, they're not in your audience anymore, they're not in your pool of people that you can target. So definitely targeting is a little bit more scarce now, and you want to make sure that you keep people within Facebook and target them through the same app. As an example, if you show them a video as in ad 1, and in this video you send them, essentially you target all of your Facebook page likes or your Instagram engagers, and then you show them one video. So everyone that viewed or interacted with this video can be shown a second video, because you can easily retarget video views, as this is retargeting through Facebook's platform. So it's much more accurate for the audience and for the retargeting, and you're basically sure that you won't lose any people in this sort of process. Plus, video creatives are also just a great way overall to showcase your products, showcase different angles, maybe pique different sort of interest, get some music, and essentially create this sort of whole feel and emotions around your product. With that being said, I'm talking about product videos now, but you can also do UGC, which is user generated content, something that we found working crazy well for some of our clients. And essentially this is content generated by either influencers or some of your ambassadors or maybe some of your audience, and you want to essentially do content about people that fall into your demographic of the people that you want to target. So let's say, as an example, you are trying to target, you have a swimwear brand and you want to target 18 to 35-year-old woman. Then you'd pick a woman essentially within this age frame, and then essentially you want just to have this person either do a little tutorial about your product, maybe a review, maybe what they felt before and after getting your product. So something that essentially speaks to your audience and then allows them essentially to sort of relate with this person. That's almost like word of mouth marketing. So super effective strategy right there. The fourth tip I'm going to mention with you today is using other attribution settings and applications. So first things first is, Facebook's attribution is good, is accurate, I'd say, most of the time, but still there comes times where Facebook doesn't attribute all the sales to you. And as we know, Google isn't also the best option either, as in our experience, Google tends to under attribute the sales, whereas Facebook sometimes even over attribute just slightly the sales. But in these times, Facebook does mostly under attribute the sales. So what you want to have is probably a third-party solution will be a good idea in these next couple of months and weeks and however long this is going to last. So one of the good and the best solutions on the market right now is Hyros, which is one of those third-party tracking software that you can pay for essentially. And what they do is that they track each of your ad for its lifetime. So if somebody viewed your ad today, didn't show up on your website or didn't take any action for a few months, but then purchased later on, your ad would still get attributed. So essentially it just keeps tracking every touch point that you do with every client. Would it be an ad of them going on the website, them seeing one of your emails? It basically tracks everything and knows where essentially a customer comes from, and essentially allows you to have better and more accurate results and data to essentially analyze and know where to allocate some budget for your marketing strategy afterwards. And this fifth and last tip that I want to share with you today is build a solid list of customers. So build your email list, really focus on getting customers subscribed into your email list. Some stores do it automatically, as soon as somebody purchased, there's a box that's ticked by default for them to get emails. That could be a possibility, or essentially emphasizing your email list and doing potentially giveaways, and people have to enter their email to be into those giveaways. But whatever it is, build your email list, because email marketing still remains a really great way of getting back those sales, especially for doing email retargeting. So that could be good. But just regular newsletters, that we see some of our clients send out weekly, sometimes bi-weekly, but whatever the number of newsletters you want to send, definitely email marketing is still super accurate, and there's no this is not being blocked by iOS 14 or any updates coming up shortly. So that pretty much wraps it up and covers it all. So hopefully you found some value in this video. And if you're an e-commerce store owner and you run an e-commerce business and you've been thinking about doing ads, or you've been doing ads yourself but haven't found that much success, I invite you to go down there in the description and click on the first link in the description and book a really short 15-minute demo call with myself. We'd be going over essentially some techniques to get those ads back up and running. And essentially, as I've mentioned in this beginning of this video, we've been generating multiple 5 figures a month for all of our clients in e-com in the past couple of months, even with what's been going on with iOS 14. So once again, make sure to click on this link in the description, and I'll be having a chat with you very soon. So have a great day, everyone. See you soon. Bye.